There are road closures in the area that may be impacting your commute or are about to. I-490 is currently closed between East 55th and I-77 from now through May of 2021, while construction crews work on Section 3 of the Opportunity Corridor. Beginning Monday, June 17th, 77 North will be reduced to 2 lanes between Pershing Avenue and I-490 through September for bridge and pavement work. And the West 45th Street ramp for the West Shoreway is closed now and for the next 5 months, while the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District continues its construction of the Westerly Storage Tunnel. Drivers on the Shoreway can access Detroit Avenue and other nearby streets by using the West 73rd or West 25th Street exit ramps. For more information, including detours and additional info, visit the Ohio Department of Transportation's website or call 216-581-2100. Thanks to Mayor Frank Jackson's enhanced budget, made possible by the passing of Issue 32, there's a lot of great road work happening in our neighborhoods. To find out what's going on, visit clevelandcityhall.com.
Good afternoon. I want to thank everyone for coming out this afternoon to Riverside Park. And before we get started with the formal program, I'm going to ask Ms. Tanya Noel to give a brief invocation.
To God be the glory for the great things that he has done. Let us pray. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all of the earth. Lord, when we consider the works of thy hands, this beautiful sun that you allowed to shine over us this morning, the rain that you sent so that the grass would grow, the leaves would come so that the oxygen would be made so that we'd be able to breathe, just the manner in which you care for us. We came this morning to say thank you. We are so grateful to you for all that your hands have provided, Lord. We ask your blessings upon this venture that CMHA and the partners have endeavored in, and we ask that you would just shine upon it and bless it, Lord. We do it to serve your people and to bring you glory, and we come in the matchless name of your darling Son. Amen.
Think so. Got it. All right. Good afternoon again, and welcome to Riverside Park. We are very excited to have this opportunity today as we move forward with a new development. And while we're not tearing down units, we are renovating and upgrading throughout this process over 450 units over the course of a 4 to 5 year period. This is very exciting for us and very exciting for the Riverside Park residents. This site has been here for a number of years. It's one of our sites that we have a lot of very tremendous and outstanding residents, and we are very lucky and pleased to have this groundbreaking as we take something and try to take it to the next level. This afternoon, we're going to have a lot of the few key partners who are here today who are going to help talk a little bit about what we're doing and their commitment. The first person that we're going to have today that's going to speak is going to be the person who has led this city over the last several years and has done a tremendous job. He's always been an advocate and a supporter of our residents. He's always been an advocate and supporter of providing quality housing. So at this time, I'd like to ask Mayor Frank G. Jackson to please step forward and say a few words.
Good afternoon. I want to congratulate CMHA in general, Riverside Park in particular, and the residents of Riverside Park for this renovation. Affordable housing is key. without affordable housing, whatever we do as a city in terms of development, in terms of quality of life and prosperity, all of that, if we are not inclusive of everyone in that quality of life and prosperity, we have not really done our jobs, and we have not been successful, no matter how it may appear. So again, I want to congratulate those who are the beneficiary and really thank all the people who made it possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor, and thanks again for your leadership as we continue to move forward with these endeavors. The next person I'm going to call up is a person who, when they did the redistricting some years ago, one of the first things that this gentleman did was reach out to CMHA and say, hey, I want to understand, I want to know what's going on, I want to find out who the key people are and what the key issues are at Riverside Park. Since that time, he's been a valuable partner with us, and we really appreciate his leadership as well. So I'd like to have Councilman Martin J. Keene please come forward and say a few words.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you all for being here and joining the mayor and the council president, all members of council, and congratulating CMHA and all their partners. This is part of Ward 17, a very important part of Ward 17, a great neighborhood in a kind of a bunch of great neighborhoods, but meeting the people of Riverside Park has been a true pleasure of mine, and seeing this significant investment on behalf of CMHA and all its partners is just a great day. So congratulations to everybody, and let's enjoy the ribbon cutting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Projects like this cannot happen without partnership and folks really coming together. CMHA receives this funding through the federal government, and the agency that oversees that is the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. HUD has been a tremendous partner in terms of helping us to identify the sources, provide the guidance and the direction to kind of help this day come to pass. So I'd like to ask our director of our local office here in Cleveland, Mr. Brian Murray, to please come forward and say a few words.
Good afternoon. For those of you who have not met me, I am Brian Murray. I'm the Director of Public Housing for the state of Ohio. On behalf of Secretary Ben Carson, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here today. Today is a big day for all of us and a milestone for the city of Cleveland that is a result of a collaborative effort that has taken multiple years and hard work and coordination by many people and many organizations. The extraordinary time and effort the board, Mr. Patterson, the staff of the Cuyahoga Metropolitan Housing Authority, government employees, and industry partners have committed and are committing to this project is a testament to their dedication to the city of Cleveland. This project is more than just a rehabilitation of apartments. It is an opportunity to improve the affordable housing stock in the city of Cleveland. This is a new beginning for Riverside Park. And I personally am looking forward to the renovated apartments and observing the smiles of the residents as they enjoy their the amenities of their apartment. Thank you.
I would be remiss if I did not mention that Brian is originally from Pittsburgh. And so, you know, we were talking a little earlier, and he was just really just saying how he thinks he's going to embrace the Cleveland Browns this year. So, you know, the next time we see him, you know, he's going to have on his Browns gear. He was going to wear orange and brown today, but he didn't want to go too far yet. So we're looking forward to having him suit up in his Odell Beckham Jr. jersey. At this time, I want to deviate a little pivot off a program for a minute, because as we talk about the federal government, it's also important for us to recognize the contributions that we've had from our federal local officials. One that has always been a supporter of CMHA and has always done a good job to advocate for us is Senator Sherrod Brown. Senator Brown could not be here today, but I do want to ask if Mr. Ken Williamson would come up and mind saying a few words on his behalf.
Thank you, everybody. On behalf of Senator Sherrod Brown, I bring you greetings. Like Jeff said, he was unable to make it today, but he did send me a letter that he wanted me to read to all of you. Dear friends, congratulations as you celebrate the groundbreaking of Riverside Park Phase 2. This new development will help families achieve the dream of having a home of their own. A home is more than just a roof over one's head. Homes create memories and anchor communities. You understand, I'm excited to see what a difference this latest project will make for its residents and for our entire community. Thank you to the Cuyahoga County Metropolitan Housing Authority and all the partners for making this investment possible. I wish you all the best in the years to come. Sincerely, Sherrod Brown, United States Senator. Thank you.
All right, all this is important, and the contributions from the partners and the officials and everybody else, that's well, and that's critical. But the most important component, the most important people are the people we serve, and those are our residents. Thank you, Ms. Gray. CMHA has been very fortunate to have very active resident leadership throughout the years. All the projects, all the different things that we've done over the last 5 to 10 years, we would not have been able to do it without key input, discussion, passion, and direction from the resident leadership. I want to ask our resident leader, who is the president of the Progressive Action Council, Ms. Lillian Davis, to come forward and say a few words. Ms. Davis?
You know what? I was hoping to see more residents out here because they should really be proud of the turnaround that Riverside Park has done. I've been coming out here for years. I remember when they was little bitty homes. My daughter asked me before I got here, she said, "Ma, find out if they're going to take any Section 8, because I'll be working soon and I want to move out there." But I hope she get a place so she'll be far away from me. But I've been working with CMHA for many years, and this makes me really proud. And like the one down at Cedar, it's just gorgeous. Heritage View, gorgeous. These people out here need to appreciate what's going to happen for them out here. I think they got a pretty good group of residents now because they work, and they got to work hard at making sure that they got a community that everybody want to come to. I don't want to move way out here, but because it's a little too far in the airplanes, I can't take them. Because you see, I looked up there because it looked like it was coming on down here. Even that, I live on 130th, and when the planes be finna come into the airport, I be saying, well, okay, make sure that y'all keep it moving. Because it's so close. But it's beautiful out here, and I know when they get through, I guess it's going to take a couple of years, but they're going to have a lot of people on waiting lists to come out here. So again, congratulations to you, Jeff and CMHA, and keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. I also want to take a second and make sure I recognize, some of the folks who are here from the Progressive Action Council and the local LAC. Again, those folks who are here, who are a part of that, who are the resident leadership at this site. And overall, they've done a good job working with Ms. Davis. So let's give it up for the residents and the resident leadership and the role that they play in making these things happen. Our chairman, Robert Davis, who is our chairman of our Board of Commissioners, was unable to make it today. At the last minute, he got called into another matter. But I also want to make sure that we highlight and note the importance of the CMHA Board of Commissioners. While it's up to the staff to implement and move forward with a lot of initiatives, It is the board that sets the policy and sets a direction for the administration. And our board has done a phenomenal job in doing that. We take our cue and our leadership from the board. Robert Davis has been an excellent chairman for us. We have 5 great commissioners, and we'll continue to move forward. So again, I want to make sure we recognize the board for their contribution on this evening as well. Now these next 4 gentlemen that I'm going to be introducing, each has a specific role in how we go. So one is the one that's leading the reconstruction, the building, the development. So we got to give him a nice hand, because he's going to, help build everything up. Now, the other 3 dudes, they the ones with the money. Now, when the money men come up here, we need to make sure we let them know we appreciate them, so that the next time they see us asking for money, they know what to do. So we're going to start off by being nice to the guy who builds it, because he's done a phenomenal job on every project that he's had for us. He's done a very good job in doing that, and that's Mr. Bud Wilson, President and Project Executive, Mystic Construction.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. I was telling these other 3 gentlemen that we're the ones that spend all the money. They're the ones that provide all the money. I'd like to tell you a little story. A wise old man once told me, when you speak publicly, you don't talk about things and objects. You want to talk about people. So I'm not going to tell you about the great triple pane windows we're going to be putting in the buildings, or the spray insulation that will make it tighter, more comfortable, new air conditioning, high efficiency furnace. I'm not going to tell you anything about any of that. Brand new kitchens, brand new bathrooms. The hardwood floors, by the way, we did some samples of the hardwood floors. They're going to look phenomenal. Trust me, they really are. So I'm not going to tell you anything about that. Instead, what I'd like to do is digress for a moment and tell you a little story about my siblings and I that just occurred a couple months ago. I have 4 siblings, and just by chance, my brother came upon a lady that lived in our house that we had grown up in. Now, my mother and father split up over 50 years ago, and this is the house that we were growing up when they had split up. And my brother had the boldness to ask her, could we come visit your house? She was the lady that actually bought the house. So she lived there for over 50 years. She had been living there. She said, sure, come. So we did for 1 hour on a Sunday. And I'm telling you, it was identical. No changes. The bathroom, maybe. The kitchen was the same. The dining room was the same. The pencil sharpener on the basement steps was still there. It was incredible. But you know what? I realized, being in construction, I was fascinated. This house, who my grandfather actually built in the 40s, was still standing and still doing well after all these years. But what was real interesting to me was my 4 siblings and I, when we got into the house, we weren't so much interested in the house itself, but in reminiscing. We talked about my brother got seriously burned in that house because the old hot water tanks had open flames. We had a lot of tears in that house, but we had a lot of joy in that house. And for that 1 hour that we were there, it wasn't just a house that we used to live in, but it was our home again. And I think you can identify with that. So today, I want to thank you for allowing us to not just build houses and renovate houses. You see, because we're not building for us, right? Who are we building for? We're building for our children and our grandchildren. And that little old lady, that house did need some upgrades. It really did. We want to live in the past, don't we? But we can't. We're in the 21st century. It's not the good old days anymore. So we need to upgrade, like we're doing here. And I want to say thank you for allowing us not to just build houses, but to be part of the homes that we're building here for generations to come. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bud. And I think obviously we found out that between 1:30 and 2 o'clock is a popular flight time in Cleveland with Cleveland's International Hopkins Airport there. Next, we're going to have Mr. Joseph Hay come up from, he's the director from Red Mortgage Capital.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Joey Haig. I'm from Red Capital. We did the FHA mortgage and underwrote the tax-exempt bonds for the project. I want to thank CMHA. I especially want to thank the day-to-day people that we worked with in development, Rachel, Stephen, Cynthia, Andrew, Beth, Pamela, and Michael. Really appreciate working with you guys. What nobody realizes or can see is the amount of time that we've put in, that all of us put into this project. I think we started working on this deal probably about 5 years ago. So it took a lot of perseverance and hard work to get to this spot, but we're really excited for to see the transformation and excited for the next 5 years. Thank you all.
All right, next up we're going to have Brad Carmen, Vice President of Development, Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate that. I wish I could get that everywhere I go. You know, I get home and my wife and kids just sitting there clapping for me. But we invested over $18.3 million into this project. One of our largest investments ever into a public housing authority project. So it's been an honor to be part of this project. But my name is Brad Carmen. I work for Ohio Capital Corporation, and for over 30 years our mission has been to cause construction, rehabilitation, and preservation of affordable housing. And so we're a financial intermediary with the vision of helping our partners create affordable communities that empower residents and enrich lives within the communities that they serve. This vision's only made a reality when we invest in great partners like Cuyahoga MHA, OFA, HUD, Red Capital, and the City of Cleveland. Thanks to a passionate and intelligent staff that we have, they have the ongoing trust of Ohio Cap to work with you guys. And like I said again, we have invested over $18.3 million in this development. And again, I'd like to thank the staff from Cuyahoga MHA, Michael, Rachel, Pam, Cynthia, Stephen, Cheryl, Andrew, and Beth. You guys are a great staff to work with, and without you guys, we wouldn't be here today, so it's been a long road. Again, thank you all for this partnership, CMHA, OFA, HUD, Red Capital, and the City of Cleveland. Today is not possible without your vision and determination. On behalf of Ohio Capital Corporation, we look forward to the grand opening and also the groundbreaking of Riverside 3. Thank you.
Sounds smooth the way he slid in at Riverside 3. You know. So I just want to highlight that point. Next, we're going to have Keelan Gregg, Director of Planning and Preservation and Development, Ohio Housing Finance Agency.
All right. Good afternoon. I always feel a little guilty coming to these things because we have the easiest job at the outset of these deals, which is to hand out the money and then let everyone else do all the hard work. But we're a state agency. We administer the Housing Tax Credit Program and several gap financing programs like the Ohio Housing Trust Fund and the National Housing Trust Fund, which also help developments like this get across the finish line. Preservation and transformation of affordable housing, including public housing, is a top priority for our agency and for the state of Ohio. So it's a pleasure to be here for this groundbreaking. Again, this being phase 2, 203 units, 60 buildings. It's a major endeavor. We were pleased to play a small role by providing $1.6 million in housing tax credits, which gets turned into the $18 million in equity that Brad talked about. $500,000 in National Housing Trust Funds, $1 million in Ohio Housing Trust Funds. Thankfully, I could sleep through anything, so I could get could live right here. Congratulations to the development team and the fellow financing partners, Ohio Capital Corporation, CMHA, Red Capital, HUD, the City of Cleveland, Mystic, and many others. It really takes a village. It's a true public-private partnership. And so on behalf of the OFA board, our staff, and our executive director, congratulations to all of you and, of course, the Riverside neighborhood. We look forward to coming back for the grand opening and, of course, continuing to work on you. We know that there's a larger portfolio that CMHA is looking to continue to rehab and make better for everyone, and we look forward to continuing to partner in that effort. So, thanks.
Thank you again. I want to, finally say in closing that we have a phenomenal staff at CMHA that has been responsible for getting this all done. There are different components of this that have to work together, from going out and looking at the properties, assessing the properties, seeing what needs to be done, to also working with the residents, and in some instances having to relocate residents to other areas so that the construction work can be done. While not always perfect and seamless, I think the staff has done a phenomenal job of working with the residents. Our staff from our Modernization Development Department, Asset Management Department, the Far West AMP and their team, all across the board, our legal department, everyone at CMHA that had a role in this, I want to personally thank all of you for the role that you did. Our Resident Services Department, who played a critical role in engaging the residents and making sure that those folks, as they made transitions, were able to have the things that they needed. So on behalf of myself as well as the board, I want to thank the staff for a job well done. And then finally, as the voices come forward to sing, I'm going to ask those on the dais and everyone to join us over on the side over here on the left, as we kind of do a ceremonial tossing of the dirt to talk about this phase that we're going to be doing now, and look forward to doing future phases in the future. So thank you very much.
Thanks for watching TV 20. We are Cleveland.